Meeting is being recorded.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Asante Organic Alliance team training. And today we got the wonderful, lovely Mint. And Mint is my personal friend, trainer, and a transformational guide. You got questions, she's got answers. She'll do the best that she can. If she doesn't have one, she'll find something. If not, she'll just make you laugh. um, and she's been in the industry for quite some time, but she's been with Asante for not too long, but long enough. So she knows how to navigate what we're looking for, and what we're looking for is connections, relationships, and hopefully building a team. If not, just buying some superior, awesome products that no one else has on the planet. Some people say they do have that, but once you start doing some research or investigating, you'll know that no one can touch us. So without further ado, here's Mint. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Tim Mateo. Yes, it's true. If I don't know the answer, I don't have it. I will be honest and I make you laugh. So there's no downside to that. We're talking about February being falling in love with yourself month and what that means. That just means that we have to take care of ourselves. And if you want to be in business, you've heard it before, that you need to be a product of the product. Once you are a product of the product, you can just speak with ease. It's so easy to talk about me because I'm the expert of me. I, of course, know me. And each person will be the expert of themselves. So when somebody's coming into a situation and they're new, the one thing we for sure have is we have our own experiences. So we're all starting from zero. And then we accumulate information and we accumulate what I call, my scripts. There's certain things that I just hear myself saying again and again. And I realize, oh, those are my scripts. I must keep saying them because there's value. And the only way I can determine if there's value is if it works. And that means that I'm in a conversation. If it's, a comedian will do this, they'll try a joke and he's like, crickets, huh? Take it out of the script. And we just do this instinctively. So your scripts are going to be your experiences, your observations, the truths for you. I spent a lot of time going up and down the aisles of the store looking for things that were healthy, and it took so much time and more brain power. What are these chemicals? I can't even pronounce all of them, and then I'm trying to copy it and paste it and search it and see what it does, and I'm finding out, oh my gosh, they're cross-referencing and finding out that together these are horrible, just horrible. And then the packaging, oh no, this is safe. So where am I going to put my energy? It's too hard to be filtering all the time. There's a thing called decision fatigue. Every single decision we make takes a unit of energy. Mental energy is energy. And emotions are the biggest energy, the ups and the downs. And it's like, oh, this is great. Oh, I'm crashing now. It's like, oh my God, it's so much. If I can take it, I need a nap out. And then you have you have the peak and then the hangover. It's like, oh, I don't feel that great. Because the energy is ebbing and flowing. Take good care of yourself. That's a great sign of self-love. And then from there, we can do whatever we want to do. So what does it take to get ready? Starting from zero. I have an experience. How do I have an experience? Back it up. The experience is actually the first step. Before that, we have to make a decision. Decide to cut off from other options. And that way, you get your tunnel vision. I'm experimenting. I'm having an experience. I'm observing my experience intentionally. I really care about myself, and that's why I'm doing this. It has to be a good enough reason, otherwise we're not going to do it. So starting from zero is pretty much going to be highly duplicatable. So I'm hoping that everybody that comes in new to an experience isn't beating themselves up that they're supposed to be some kind of expert just because there's a bunch of chatter of everybody around. We all have our different expertise. We've all done our different types of homework and research on things that are important to us, and we all want to be helpful and make it a little easier on somebody else. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be that expert. That's why I have friends. That's why I have a community. Somebody else is the expert of that. I get to be the expert of me. You get to be the expert of you. So start from zero. Let's see. Distractions. What does it take to get ready? Knowing the priorities and focusing on the priorities makes it easy to recognize what the distractions are because they're not on a priority list. What is a priority? Well, taking care of myself is my everyday life. So I can't call that doing business. Doing business, what is an income producing activity? Marketing. The largest expense of most companies is marketing. Some of it's research, but usually it's marketing. That's a lot of energy just being social. I really liked training that somebody else gave earlier. They said, just be human, just why is it so awkward just to be nice and give people compliments and, just open the door, smile a little bit more, say hello to some people. It's really necessary. If we're going to get through all this crazy stuff that's going on in the world, it sure is a lot easier to have a network of people that are healthy and all kind. I mean, we're all going to have some stress at some points, but hey, isn't it nice when somebody goes, you know what, it's totally okay. You don't owe me any apologies. Yeah, that was a little snappy comment, but I kind of had it come in and, it's all good. It was kind of funny, blah, blah, blah. So it's just, I call it shock absorbers on the bumpy road of life. So if we really get good at this, then we'll upgrade and we'll get a hovercraft and we'll just float over the whole bumpy road. We can do that. It's a lot easier together. If you got a team of people going, yeah, I'm getting a hovercraft. Yeah, me too, me too. It's easier to roll together, a little momentum. So a friend of mine, she's from Georgia, and this lady, she's so fun. She has a couple of phrases. I'm going to give you her 3 Southern phrases. I'm going to try to do her accent. She says, I'd rather run with 100 wild horses than try to drag one dead one. And the way that she just made that so fun for me to listen to, it just echoes in my mind with her beautiful Southern accent. Wild horses, I can just hear it again and again. But it reminds me when I'm, kind of selling. Nobody wants to be sold to. So if I find myself selling, that's usually when I'll get the resistance. And then I'm trying to pull, and that never works. The person has to reach. So that means I have to back off a little bit. And, it's an ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Nothing to it, just be a little bit human. Distractions are things that seem logical and emotional. So if you take those 2 factors out, is it still a distraction? We get to decide how much we want to be distracted. And nobody gets there without some self-reflection. If you want to be successful, you have to be self-reflective. I have to be self-reflective. I'm a lot better at doing it quickly. Sometimes in the moment, I can just hear myself and say, that was not cool. And then I can correct myself. I can really get back on track. It was a little bit snappier earlier today, and it wasn't a shining moment for me. I kind of felt bad about myself. And then I thought, not perfect. I allow myself to be human. And I know I have a good heart. And I know I contribute well. And I know that these people love me too. And they're not going to hold it against me. I'm a little bit snappy every now and then. By now they figured out that's me. So be yourself and trust that the right people will congregate to you. You have to get in the conversation. So with that being said, I know somebody who is nickname is Sparky because He ignites the fire in people with his luminous conversation. So that being said, Timoteo, could you shine some of that spark on us, please?
Sure will. Thank you. Yes, I have several conversations, and all these conversations, they're not going to have immediate results because what does, right? Because I'm not looking for anything, so I'm just planting the seeds and just being curious and interested in someone that I meet online, or I just like today I met somebody at the gas station and we just struck up a conversation. He liked my car, and then I just kept asking questions about him and if he lived around the area and what did he do and what got his interest in the car. It's particular my car. Now I know he's a full-fledged Mustang fan, and then I just mentioned that I might let my car go, and he just jumped on that, and then we just exchanged numbers, and I'm just, I look forward to carrying on that conversation with him. We already connected on Facebook, so I know with that, he's gonna look into me, maybe. I don't know, but that's what comes out of that comes out of that. I do have an extra clause because he's interested in the car. So no matter what you do or where you're at, like Mint says, you meet people at the grocery store or in the checkout line, you just pay some kind of compliment to somebody because I'm sure there's something somewhere on somebody or near somebody that they're looking at. You can pay a compliment to them and just that'll draw interest to them, to you. And that's that's the igniter, right? That's the spark. That's the something that starts. And then once you talk to them, of course, if something doesn't jive with you, then you can cut that conversation off. But if you like each other, then you keep that going. And then the more you like each other, say, hey, I'm about to run. We're about to leave. About done checking out here. Do you mind we carry on the conversation? Can we swap contact information? Sure. If not, they're like, then you already know that it's not going to work out, and that's okay. But most of the time, when you connect with somebody, then it shouldn't be an issue to get that number. I usually don't have that issue with people because how I go approach it, I just keep asking them questions to find out more about them. Just general basic question, right? The form, family, occupation, recreation, and mindset or motivation. And then eventually they kind of realize I haven't asked them anything and they want to be polite. They're like, hey, so, and then they ask me, or they might go after what I ask them. They'll say something that pertains to that, some kind of recreation or sporting event, or some kind of exercise. So conversation for me is really really simple. And then so if hopefully I can give you some insight on that, and you can take something away from this conversation. And then after that, you just keep talking to them. And I don't, at some point in time, someone's going to get hurt, sick, ill, or know somebody that is in that situation. And then that can open the door and have a segue for you to offer some kind of information that you might have some thing that could help them out in that situation, right? And then it's just offering information. You just offer, offer, offer. And then if they want, they'll say, yes, what are you speaking of? Or what is that you're talking about? Or I would like more information about that. And of course, you're just sharing information. And then if you have that kind of approach, great things will happen. So I have a lot of great things that will happen. It's just it's not happening now, and nor do I want them to, because I want them to see what it is. Um, I guess suffer a little bit as far as what they're doing, because you have to suffer before you seek it. You seek for a solution of something, right? Maybe suffering is a harsh word, but it means some kind of default means something where they need to fulfill a need or a want or desire, and then we just offer those things, and then when that timeline crosses our paths, then I can throw the kitchen sink at them and give them all the videos and stuff like that. And actually, I have a person right now. She's battling cancer right now, and she is going through the doctor route because that's what she knows. That's what we all knew, right? That's what I knew up until I met Michael, and then of course I learned his story that he went through last year, and then I just got involved, and I'm more and more into it now. And as in general, so is the whole country, right? With the Maha thing going on, Make America Healthy Again. So we're on a great path right now, and definitely on a movement. right? And we're in the right place, right time, like Michael says, and so Danny, and I think we're all aware of that. But not everybody's awake, right? There's still some sleeping people um, wandering around. If we can shed some light on them and wake them up a little bit, they'll come around eventually. And then just love on them and be kind and courteous and give them the information when the timing is right. But yeah, conversations. I love having conversations, and I just like talking to meeting people, and then who knows? That's how I live it.
Yes, you do live it. I love following your posts on Facebook too. They're interesting. I never know what you're going to be depicting. I think it's very creative the way that you have emotional content because when you look at those pictures, you're like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's important to uh, when we're starting those conversations to not make it too personal, but what you were saying, you use the word suffer, and I agree. It's suffering. It's absolutely suffering. It's completely unnecessary, any of it. A little inflammation. It's completely unnecessary. We should be thriving just because we're considering like, oh, well, I'm not in, bad pain or, I'm not in any pain. Uh, that sounds like a vivacious life. Like, what about really living? So we got to meet people wherever they are. And then, do you know anybody like that? Not them, not you. Let them say, well, me. It's like, do you know anybody, who gets a good night's sleep anymore? So one of the new strategies, I've been listening to these people from the CIA for a while. They got all kinds of great strategies. One of them is to make the statement opposite of the truth. Wow, you look like you got a lot of rest. You look like you could use a coffee. Sometimes people just want to be seen. They just want to be noticed. I'm so used to somebody I swear to God, I'm invisible a lot. Me. And I've thought, well, how could anybody miss me? But no, we're so in our own worlds, we're just not noticing who's around us, who's in the elevator, who's in the line. That time when they said that we had to be 6 feet apart, we didn't forget because we were in the sympathetic nervous system when that happened. We're like, what am I doing? Am I doing it right? What do I wear? What do I not wear? What can I do? What can I? So that's a program that's running, needs to be plucked out, thrown away. So put it in the mind what we want to do. I want to connect with people. I love people. I love high quality people who are fun. And I had such a good time. I had such a good time yesterday. I just danced for hours. Everywhere I went, I was dancing. I was out in public at the farmer's market, and it seemed like, every so often somebody else had some music playing. And, as I was going through the market, I just danced to everybody's music. Whatever food they were selling, I danced to their type of music. Um, and I didn't see a lot of that. And I would really like for, people to feel more comfortable just being friendly, being, energized, and let yourself shine. We're in a habit of, dulling down so that we can fit in. And oh, you don't want to be the oddball. Yes, you do. You want to let your light shine so that you're the beacon for everybody else. And if you're the oddball for now, don't worry, you'll have company. So this one lady, she says to me, Mint, if you had a tribe, I'd join it. I said, look around. You already did. Look at all of us. We're all here. These are the same people. We keep showing up. This is the group. We're doing it. It's not like if we had a tribe, just because somebody didn't put a label and a stamp on it, it's organic. It's the Asante Organic Alliance. Asante is the one thing that we all have in common because we all understand that what Tim Mateo said. We have searched the world over And there is no competition for anything with this type of credential, with these types of formulations. You can get the best in yourself of everything possible. And a lot isn't possible. Some of it is just too expensive and out of reach. But there's nothing that's more important than what's going in the body. So my priorities, you'll never know how much money I have because I ate it in my supplements, in my vitamins, in my experiences, in, you know, living life. You don't know how much it costs to take that scuba diving trip. But you know what? I got to do it, and I there I was with, it was a dream. People dream of this stuff. There I was at the bottom of the ocean with giant mantas, watching them do an incredible ballet, like 12 inches from my face. Amazing, just amazing. I'm so glad that I have the health that I can do those things. So live your life, shine your light, and whoever's around, you know, I made a friend that trip. When I was in the scuba shop, these people behind the counter says, you know who she's going to get along with? She'd get along great with Kavika. And we're still friends. So what are you going to do? I mean, I was just checking in for my dive. And now I have a friend. It's all these years later. So be the friend that you want to attract. Be the friend to yourself that you want to attract to you. People who just love you the way they are, the way that you are, the way that we are. We're all the way that we are. And Timoteo also said something about, they'll come around eventually. Well, maybe they won't, but somebody else will. And every time we step forward, one step, the universe brings it closer, 2 steps, if not more. As soon as we say yes to something, it can manifest actually very quickly. It's very, very kind of fun game to play. But I say that there is a threshold. There is a certain amount of focus and consistency and knowingness that there's no doubt in your mind. You're doing the right thing. You're helping other people. You're helping yourself. You're wanting to build community. You're wanting to build wealth in not just your experiences, but also in your currencies. Why not? That's not an empowering question. But you could ask why. And why would be a better question. Why would I? And I can go on and on and on about that. So limit the distractions, set your priorities, start from 0, expect contrast. Sometimes it's suffering. Well, I can just lighten it up and go, oh, that's a little contrast. Oh my God, you're calling my 4 years with cancer contrast? Yeah, baby. Because now you got the whole rest of your life to live vivaciously. You had some contrast. Don't give it any more credit than that. It's an imbalance. They dramatize this stuff, and it's a lot easier than what we've been taught if we give the body what it needs. And what it does need is 100% organic. Period. It does not need any chemical for any reason ever. And any chemical is not absorbable by the body and will be identified as something that causes an imbalance. So just be nice to yourself and just keep decreasing those negative things, and then the negative thoughts and negative words, and snip off those relationships, and reel in the good ones, and hug people a lot. Ooh, hug yourself. Good for you. 20 seconds of a heart-to-heart hug activates the hypothalamus to release oxytocin. That feels good. Maybe that's why I'm so happy. I like hugging. So do yourself some favors and reach out to us just for any reason. Have fun, invite us to stuff, share things that you found of value, and or talk about your boo-hoos. You got a boo-boo? Let's clean it out. The first step. We fall down, we get back up. And I like the saying, it's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up, because I've fallen down quite a bit. And I have had a teacher in Los Angeles, and she says, well, falling forward is still forward. But eventually you can walk, and then you learn to dance. You can dance forward in life. So I'm happy that I'm finally in the dancing place, because I have fallen forward plenty of times. As long as you decide you want to go in that direction, I think Tim Mateo used the word seek. We're seekers, and we're looking for seekers. We're looking for the people who are curious. Would you like to know what it feels like to feel better? Would you like to know what it's like to be more vivacious and prosperous in life, in finances? It's a lot more fun. You curious? There is no glass ceiling. There really isn't. It's all an illusion. So the illusion is, when the first generation of fleas is put in a jar and they smash against the lid, they learn not to bounce that high. And then they take the lid off, but every single generation after that has the DNA of the same flea that learned not to jump that high. So you have to literally override the DNA of all your ancestors who never had what you want, what you deserve. Doesn't mean it didn't exist. It just meant that they didn't have a belief system that it was possible for them. Didn't make it true. So watch what you believe, and just be curious. When you know, you know. Thank you, Tim Mateo. As always, you're the super, super host. I love this technology that you're using, and everybody can tune in to the replays, because he's got skills that he donates for the good of us all. And I appreciate your generosity and your consistency and your humor and your friendship. So that being said, till next time.
Thank you. Good night.
Au revoir.